Hi and welcome. I'm Tiffany Johannes with Remax Executive and Charlotte Home Experts, as well as the Canopy Housing Foundation Board of Directors. Today, I'm here to talk with Shreya Mantha. She is the founder and CEO of Foundation for Girls. It's an incredible local organization throughout the Carolinas that focuses on helping single mothers who are homeless get financially stable, confident, and ready socially and digitally to engage in the workforce and to give them a step up in society. She has done a tremendous amount of work since she founded it in 2014. And note, she is, I believe, a sophomore at Stanford right now. So she started this, when you think about it, it's 2021 and 2014 at a very young age, and has been very successful, helping over 2,500 families throughout our community in this program. Last year alone, she did 308 families. They work with about 50 families at a time and has a tremendous story. Today, we just wanted to bring you this story so that if you're looking for an organization to support or you have someone who needs help, you'll know that Shreya and her Foundation for Girls is here. Welcome, Shreya. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Tiffany, for having us.
Welcome. Tell us a little bit about how you got started with Foundation for Girls and what it means to you, and kind of a little bit of history of where you came from.
Sure. So hi, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here today and to be representing Foundation for Girls, or FFG as we like to call it. FFG economically empowers homeless single mothers and supports their children. We invest in women to be financially savvy, digitally capable, career confident, and socially connected. And our four-pillar programming in financial well-being, career journey, digitally forward, and circle of care equips women with the resources, relationships, and recommendations needed on their journey to financial independence and economic stability. In 2020, we economically empowered 306 single mothers and 102 of their children. And since our inception in December of 2014, as Tiffany mentioned, we've impacted over 2,500 women and their children. FFG began as a small passion project for my sister and I back in December of 2014, but it's grown to be an organization impacting women across North and South Carolina, with a team of 75 committed coaches, an incredible board of directors, and an incredible support system through our advisory board as well.
That is incredible. You do so much for women across our region and their families. Can you tell me a little bit about some of the programs you have right now and your financial needs? What are some things that you do that you need help with?
Sure. So Foundation for Girls is a small organization in terms of resources, but large in terms of impact. And we take a unique behavioral psychology and behavioral economics approach to our systemic change. And we believe in continuous community investment. So if you'd like to invest in homeless single mothers and support their children, you can do so in two ways. You can invest in FFG's mission via our website, but you can also visit our FFG Impact Shop, which you will see on our website as well. With every purchase you make, you invest in and support a homeless single mother and her child.
And with those mothers, they are looking to take that next step so that they have a roof of their own for their children. They have the ability to gain a job, and you help them get that skill set and prepared so that they can lift off and really be a role model for their children. You have coaches in this program, I know. Tell me a little bit about coaching responsibility. If someone out there is thinking, I would love to mentor or coach one of these young women, what does it take? And tell us a little bit about what the expectations are.
Sure. So the FFG coaching approach is research-backed, and it's all about investing knowledge, skills, and behaviors for sustained systemic change. So what our coaches do is they coach in two parts. They do group coaching, and then they do one-on-one coaching. And there are really four key areas in which they impact the women that we're working with. One is about giving these women the awareness in each of the four areas, whether it's financial well-being, making sure the women are financially capable, career confident, making sure the women are career confident and ready to take on new opportunities for economic advancement, whether it's within digitally forward, it's to be digitally capable so that the women can live, learn, and work in a digital society. But it's also about giving them knowledge and skills and removing those barriers to progress. many of the women that we work with have come from, generational instability. So by removing those barriers to progress, they're able to change their life, but also the lives of their children and future grandchildren. The coaches also work to instill productive behaviors and actions for sustained growth and development. And they continue working over the long term to reinforce good behaviors and make it easy for the women that we're working with to make good choices to continue to advance economically and socially. Most of the coaches that FFG works with has a long-term commitment, and most of our coaches have been with us for over 2.5 years. Many of the women, because they come from unstable backgrounds, they see many people go in and out of their lives, but FFG is that stable support system for them that meets them, whether they're at a group home, a transitional home, a homeless shelter, and continues working with FFG and the coaches over the long term. So our duration of engagement with our coaches and participants can range anywhere from 9 to 48 months.
That's incredible. That sense of commitment is, I'm sure, key in the women and their families' lives of consistently building and growing. We talked beforehand and you mentioned that you've been able to convert all of this virtually. So those one-on-one meetings and those group meetings are done via something like a Zoom or what we're doing today, I would assume, right?
Yes, that's correct. So FFG is completely virtual. We actually went virtual at the end of 2019. Many of the women who maybe were in shelters based in the greater Charlotte area came from places like Gastonia, Asheville, Salisbury, Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Columbia, South Carolina, Charleston, South Carolina. And so as they moved back home and moved to a place where they found a job or where they felt stable, they wanted to remain in touch with their FFG coaches and continue to work with them over the long term. So we actually went virtual in October of 2019, and little did we know that COVID would hit and would turn everything upside down. But luckily for us, it was a very smooth transition. So all of our group and one-on-one coaching happens over Zoom, and we've seen it to be a very successful, sustainable, and scalable model.
That is great. With the Foundation for Girls, you not only have coaches, but you also provide care packages. And we were talking about ways that groups or teams or companies could perhaps get together virtually or safely distancing to put together care packages for you. Tell us a little bit about what you'd like to see in the care packages. I'm sure it's on your website, but just give us a little insight of what you give out and how often you give it, and we'll direct people to your website to get the specific details.
Sure. So care packs fall under our Circle of Care. Circle of Care works to make sure that these women are financially resilient and they have the essentials needed on their journey to economic stability. So one part of that is care packs. So it's hygiene packs, feminine hygiene packs, nutritionally dense snack packs, which sometimes works as meal replacements, and during this time, COVID-19 packs as well. So, when these women are working low-wage jobs, when they're trying to support themselves, a child, and maybe 2 children, essentials like, shampoo, conditioner, feminine hygiene products, snacks for their children as they go to daycare can be really significant as they try and manage their budget day to day. So, the care packs truly are an incentive for the women as they go through the FFG programming and complete the FFG coaching. Again, because we take a little bit of a unique approach in terms of our programming using behavioral psychology and behavioral economics. So the care packs are there to continue to incentivize women, but also to make sure that their essential needs are met on their journey to independence.
That is incredible. So you have 2,500 women who have been through the program. Tell me a little bit about where you see some of the women today and how I'm sure they're incredibly grateful and just thrilled with their lives as to the transition in a lot of cases. Do you have a couple of examples of impact that might be a nice share with our community?
Yes, absolutely. I can think of like 10 off of my head, but I guess I'll narrow it down to 2, one being Nija and one being Savannah. So Nija was a 19-year-old expectant mother living in a transitional home for teen mothers. and we met her in August of 2019. She was living in a home for expectant mothers. She had just gotten a job at a call center, earning just under $8 an hour. She was with her child's father at the time, but she didn't have any support financially from him or from her family. So when we met Nija, she went through the FFG programming. She got a career journey coach, she got a financial well-being coach, got a digitally forward coach, and then had a circle of care team to support her. In about, I think in March of 2020, early March of 2020, she completed the FFG programming, and through Career Journey, she was matched as a potential RBT, which is a registered behavior technician, someone who works with autistic children on meeting behavioral milestones. So when she interviewed for the job, she ended up getting the job. And although COVID had hit in March of 2020, because Nija had met with her HR manager, she had completed her 40-hour training within a week, and she completed that all before her daughter was born and before COVID had shut businesses down. She actually got a job while others had been losing jobs. So at the end of March, yes, it was truly a blessing for Nija. So at the end of March of 2020, her daughter Nylia was born, and a few weeks after she took maternity leave, she started her job as a behavior technician. So that was all, an upward trajectory. But soon after that, she separated from the father of her child. So there was a trough in her life, but right after that, she was actually promoted. She went from being a behavioral technician to a registered behavior technician. So she went from earning $18 an hour to $22 an hour. Just before she turned 21, she actually bought herself her first car. She moved into her first apartment. And today in 2021, although Nija is earning, $66,000 a year, she's in an apartment with her daughter Nylia. She has a stable job. She has a mode of transportation. She continues to work with her FFG coaches, and she has a goal to increase her credit score so she can actually be in a home by the end of 2021. So that's one story, which, I think it brings tears to everybody's eyes when you think of where Nija was in 2019 and where Nija is in 2021.
It's absolutely amazing. And I'm sure you have many stories like that. Like you said, you have 10 off the top of your head to help someone take those steps and make a positive direction in their life is huge. And it sounds like the Foundation for Girls has been impacting young women for years now and will continue to for many more years. So what I would say to all of you out there is think about what we've taught to you today. Shreya has definitely shared incredible facts and details and stories regarding Foundation for Girls. If you're thinking about how you can volunteer your time, coaching is a great idea if you have a lot of link to do. You also have the ability to create care packages or financially donate, because I also know that I believe that they are looking to raise money for the transportation component of getting the care packages delivered and getting the details and information they need out to the women that they help.
And that's correct. We are fundraising in two main areas. First is rental assistance for the single mothers that we support as they transition out of group homes, transitional homes, and get on their feet. FFG is looking to raise about $6,000 to support 12 single mothers. And on the second hand, we are seeking funding for an FFG Care Mobile. In 2020, we distributed over 15,000 care packs and drove over 18,000 miles. And that was all done by the FFG team and FFG coaches. But to sustain our growth, to sustain our scale and impact, we're seeking to raise about $20,000 for the FFG Care Mobile.
Those are two great resources. I know how I got to know you is through the application that you made to the Canopy Housing Foundation. So if you work with a group that does do grants or programs on a corporate level or nonprofit wise, this would be a great opportunity to connect with Foundation for Girls. I know our foundation, Canopy Housing Foundation, gave, I believe, $3,000 last year for 6 recipients to have a $500 credit for rental assistance. And myself, we, as a result of connecting today, are going to donate $250. and work on putting together some care packages. And I would love to know more information about the coaching side of things, because I myself might be interested, and I know a couple of friends that I would strongly recommend them to assist you, because it's, I think, an incredible cause. I love what you're doing and how you're doing it. And I think everyone out there listening would agree with me that you have done a fabulous job, and we can't wait to see what you do as the years come. Thank you so much, Shreya, for joining us.
Thank you, Tiffany.
I appreciate your time. Again, I'm Tiffany Johannes with RE/MAX Executive and Charlotte Home Experts, but more importantly today, Canopy Housing Foundation. And just thank you for your time listening. And if you can do anything to support Foundation for Girls, please reach out. We've shared the website, the Instagram links and information, and they would really appreciate you assisting them. Thank you.
Thank you all.